everybody. Hope everybody's doing really well today. So I am here to do another newly released coloring book video. And I love making these. People seem to be really enjoying viewing them. So let's hop on in, right? So I'm going to talk about 10 new books today. And while chit-chatting, I will be coloring in my Coloring Heaven Cutesy Christmas Special. And you might be thinking, 'tis not Christmas season anymore. And you are 1000% correct. But I just really like this magazine, and I only got to color one picture in it this holiday season. So I'm working on another one, and I'm trying to de-Christmas it, if that makes sense. So kind of take away some of the holiday season vibes. So I don't know if you can tell, but he's holding a candy cane, right? Or she, I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it be a hand instead. And I'm gonna do this all in black. So that's gonna hide the candy cane part. So he's just gonna awkwardly be standing there with the hand up. But I figured by doing that, I'll take away basically the most holiday thing about the picture. Obviously the wreath is pretty festive, but I tried adding the blue in here to take away from the red and green. So I'm working on it. So I based most of it in alcohol marker, as you can see. Oh, that is terrifying. Oh gosh. So now I'm just going in with some brute funners and just adding a little bit of shading. It's nowhere near done, as you can tell. But let's hop into the new books, right? The reason everybody came today. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is by Demita Victoria. They tend to be pumping out books. I feel like in every video that I do like this, I always talk about a Demita Victoria release. That's amazing. Kudos to them. They're staying busy. So the new book is called The Dragon Queen. And again, it's by Demita Victoria. And it was released on January 22nd. So quite new. And the price on Amazon, and the price is in US dollars, it's $7.99. And Amazon does show you the front and the back cover, and the back cover features some of the images from the book. Before I get too far into this, I will of course link everything down below. So if you want to check any of it out, the links are in the description bar. But so you can see a couple of the images, and I'm getting very like Game of Thrones kind of feelings from this book. I have only seen one episode of Game of Thrones, so I'm by no means an expert, but I know there's a lady with dragons. I know that much. So this looks really beautiful. I think if you enjoy dragons, fabulous pick. Or just like very mystical, magnificent, beautiful, strong ladies to color. Also another fabulous one. And again, Demita Victoria is a known brand. You know that their art is authentic. And let's see how many pages and everything. There are 25 unique images. They are single-sided and black-backed. So just be warned, the pages might be warped because of that. Also, if you hear little tippy taps, I'm babysitting a dog today, and she is currently investigating. And then also all the pages you do get a double of. So it's a total of 50 images, 25 unique. So if you are craving some, I almost said dinosaur, dragon coloring, or some just mythical pictures, which is the one for you. Moving on to the next one, and it's by Coloring Book Cafe, another company that I feel like I talk about basically in every video. And this book is called The Honeybee Coloring Book. It was released on January 12th, and it's currently $7.99. And it just says, fun and easy honeybee illustrations with beautiful flowers, uplifting phrases, and relaxing nature scenes. So something that I love about Coloring Book Cafe, and I've mentioned this before many times, is that you can see a preview of, I think, almost all, if possibly even all pages on Amazon. And this book looks like it will be really good for alcohol markers. It's not too detailed. It's very minimal on the backgrounds. So very relaxing. And I don't know if I've ever actually seen a bee themed coloring book. I don't know, maybe I've just been missing it, because I'll be honest, like bees are not really something that I like specifically look for, like bee themed things. So I might have just been missing other bee themed coloring books. Try saying that 10 times fast. Oh my gosh. So let's see. There are, I'm trying to figure out how many pictures there are. So stunning hand-drawn illustrations, wonderful, high quality single-sided paper, lovely. Includes a bonus coloring test page, as well as thumbnails of every image. Wonderful. How many pages do you have though, boo? Okay, I love it because it does not specify, but is it 30? 25? I'm not sure. I don't actually own anything by the Coloring Book Cafe, and unfortunately they don't tell you. But there are no duplicates as far as I know, because usually they will definitely highlight that. So I'm gonna assume one copy of each image, and maybe 25 to 30. Because Amazon says that there's a total of 82 pages, but that's double-sided. So there are 41 single-sided pages. So I guess it really depends on how many like extra papers they give you, because sometimes they have a bunch, you know, like in the back and the front. So, but I can assume at least 20 pages. So moving on to the next book. And it was actually released last year, but at the end of 2021. It's called Tattoo Divas, and it's by Deborah Muller. And again, December 27th of 2021, so right at the year end, right after the holiday season. And it is currently $8.99. If you are not part of the Deborah Muller Facebook group, I feel like you're missing out. I am part of it, and I never post anything, but it's really fun to see other people's work. And then also she will announce like new releases or when she does special bundles on Etsy. So I feel like it's definitely worth following along with. But anyways, so there are pictures of, you know, the typical Deborah Muller gals, and they're covered in lovely tattoos. There are 29 pages. It says all full-size black and white images. Wonderful. And they are single-sided. And I don't know if it's black-backed. It doesn't specify. But yeah, I mean, Deborah Muller has a very distinctive art style. So I feel like you either love it or you hate it. I like it, but I guess as I was like, you either love it or you hate it. I don't love it or hate it, so I guess that was a very false statement. So my apologies. I want one specifically. It's like one of the autumn ones. I don't know. I have it on my wish list, and I might end up getting it in the fall. I almost got it this fall season, but let's be honest, I have more than enough to color. That's one of the ones that I really, really want. But I also know, or I follow some individuals on Instagram and YouTube that collect all of her books. So she definitely has a very, very big following. And I understand why. Her pictures are fun. So if you are into Deborah Muller collecting, or you enjoy coloring tattoos, you wanted to work on your skin tone skills, here's your chance. Again, it is $8.99. It's by Deborah Muller, and it's called Tattoo Divas. It seems interesting. Do you have any tattoos? I don't. I think tattoos are really cool, but I'm always afraid that I'm gonna get something and then like 2 weeks later significantly regret it. So I'm gonna wait on that. Sorry, a little tangent. Moving on to a book by Coco Wyo, and it is called Sweet Valentine, and it's obviously for Valentine's Day. It was released January 7th of this year, and it is $6.99 at the moment on Amazon. And there are 40 illustrations, so that's a pretty big book. There is one of each, and they're single-sided, which is amazing. And again, Amazon does provide a couple previews. So it looks like there are some quotes, also some images. I can see a little image of like cute little bears and just obviously a bunch of hearts as well. If you are a big fan of Valentine's Day or just like sweet quotes, this is lovely. Moving on to another Valentine's lovey-dovey themed book, and it's by Ava Brown, and it's called Love Coloring Book, a Valentine's coloring book for adults and kids featuring adorable doodle drawings. And it was released January 8th of this year, and it's currently $6.99. And as promised, it's full of adorable doodly drawings, very Valentine's Day themed. You can see a preview of a couple, and it mostly has like a quote or like a word in the middle and then images around it that are very doodly. So it's definitely different style from the Coco Wyo one I was just talking about. So if you're in the market for Valentine's Day gift card coloring book, check out both, but definitely compare the art styles, because I'm assuming one will be more up your alley than the other one. So definitely check both of them out. I think they're about the same price, right? $6.99 and $6.99. Yeah, so they're the same price, but the art style is definitely different. This book features 30 unique images, but you do get doubles, and they are all single-sided. So it also, I guess, depends if you want doubles of the images. So whatever floats your boat, it seems like these two companies have got you covered for Valentine's Day, which is lovely, right? And I feel like things like this you can color all year long, right? It doesn't have to be just Valentine's Day, as I'm coloring in a Christmas book. But I always say, you know, whatever you want to color is what you want to color. And for me, it's cute little woodland creatures and nice little cozy sweaters. So moving on to another Coco Wyo book, and it is called Dragon. So it's a dragon themed coloring book. I guess dragons are back in style, or have they always been in style? Have I been missing out? I don't know. But it's by Coco Wyo. I don't know if I mentioned that. It is $6.99, and it was released January 13th of this year. And basically, as promised, it has dragons. And this book is cool because it has black backgrounds like on the images. So they might be black backed, I'm not sure, but like the background of the dragon is black. So if you add color to the page, it's just going to make it pop. I love that. I think it's an amazing idea. It also saves people the trouble of doing a background. As somebody who absolutely detests coloring backgrounds, I think it's amazing, and thank you, Coco Wyo. I know another book, I think it's like Islands something, Mythical Islands, or something like that. It's a book by Coco Wyo that I actually would really, really like to own. It's really cool, but they do something similar in that book where they do the black backgrounds. And I've seen some completed pages from that book, and because of the black background, the colors just pop right off the page. It looks so cool. So if you enjoyed that effect, but maybe you didn't want the Islands book, or you have the Islands book and you were hoping for another one, here's your chance. There are 40 illustrations. They are single-sided. So you definitely get a lot of bang for your buck with this book. And I feel like that's true of all of the Coco Wyo books. I feel like this company came out of nowhere and just kind of like took off by storm. Like they've been creating so many cool books, and they've been being very well received. So kudos to them. Love their stuff. I've owned one of their books. I did end up donating it a while ago, but I had one of their original books. It was about like 30-day relaxation challenge or something like that. But again, I would really like the Islands one, and it's really hard to keep up with them actually because they produce so many cool books and they're constantly releasing. So If you are maybe newer to the coloring scene and you want some budget-friendly but definitely diverse range of coloring books, definitely check out Coco Wyo. Moving on to a grayscale coloring book, and it's called Whimsical Wonders number 2, and it is by Molly Harrison. It was released on January 15th of 2022, and it's currently $8.99. And it has 25 grayscale illustrations of sweet fairies, angels, mermaids, witches, and more whimsical scenes. Yeah, it's adorable. Molly Harrison also has a very distinct art style, and her girls are absolutely adorable. If you go onto Amazon, you can see the back cover of the book, which shows you thumbnails of all the pictures. So you can clearly see, what you're signing up for and what you would be paying for. The images are super sweet, and I feel like this is a book that is much less seasonal than a lot of the other ones. There's some pictures that I would personally say are like Halloween-y, but at the same time, you can color a witch, winter colors or summer colors, whatever. So there's definitely a lot of range in this book, and not all images are of a witch. There are fairies. There's like winged creatures. There's some images that will have more than one character in it. So a really, really sweet book. And the fact that it's grayscale, I think, just makes it really, really cool. I am slowly trying to get into grayscale. But yeah, one day. I don't own anything by Molly Harrison, but I know she also comes up with like bundle books, if that makes sense, kind of like collection books. And those are usually a better value for, the number of pages that you get. But I mean, even if you get one of the books like this, it's $8.99, so it's definitely on the cheaper side of coloring books, because I feel like some of them have been getting up there in prices. And of course, like, it really depends on the quality of paper and whether you're buying directly from an artist and such. So I understand, but I feel like some have been climbing up there in the cost factor. Moving on to the next book. Oh, it's also by Coco Wyo. I guess it's a Coco Wyo heavy video, but again, they just released so many cool things. And this book is called Witches. It was released January 14th of this year, and it's $6.99, which I feel like, is that another standard price? There are 40 illustrations, and they are single-sided. Love it. So some of the images have the black background, like the Dragons book, but some have white background. So you do get best of both worlds. Really, really interesting images. So some of them feature like witches, so like witchy gals doing witchy things. But there's also some pictures, like one you can see on the back cover. It just has a cat and a cool little hat hanging out among some potions. So not everything will be the witches themselves, but maybe some of their buddies or, their surroundings. So quite a nice range, because I feel like if it was just 40 pages of basically a woman stirring a potion, that would be a little bit repetitive and possibly dull. So this is a cool combination. And yeah, I think that's all I had to say about this book. I think the cover is stunning. The contradicting colors really jumped out to me when I was preparing for this video and kind of pulling the new books to talk about. So love the front cover, love the concept, and I like that they're releasing it now and not necessarily waiting until like Halloween. So if there are creepy, spooky lovers out there, y'all can get your hands on it now, since it's been out since January 14th. Moving on to a book that I honestly never thought I would be talking about because of the whole Jade Summer drama that happened earlier this year, or I guess last year. But this book is by Jade Summer, and it's called Gnomes. Sorry, I had to sharpen my pencil. It's called Gnomes, and it was released January 17th. It's currently $7.99 on Amazon. I know they were also selling on some other website during the whole Amazon's being shitty ordeal. I don't know if that website also has this book, but it is available on Amazon. However, if you don't want to support Amazon in the situation, I totally understand. But based on the fact that they're releasing books on Amazon again, I'm assuming they won the whole, I don't want to say lawsuit because I don't think anybody got sued, but the whole situation. Anyways, there are 29 images, and then it says includes bonus content. So I guess it's 29 images from this book, and then maybe a couple extra pages from some of their other books. And shockingly, it's about gnomes. I feel like gnomes, gosh, I'm trying to like rearrange the book, I'm struggling. I feel like gnomes have really taken off in popularity recently. I know there was like a Christmas book that I talked about in one of these videos that was all gnomes. Doesn't Jade Summer also have another gnomes book? No, I could be making that up. But anyways, you can see the preview of a bunch of the pages, and not surprisingly, they're absolutely adorable. So it's not just gnomes, there's also like woodland creatures. There's a picture with a cute little mouse. And it's sitting under a mushroom with a gnome friend. There's also a gnome feeding a deer. So super adorable, and has some backgrounds, but not crazy detailed ones. But it's not just like a gnome in the center of the picture with absolutely nothing going on around it. So I feel like it's a good, happy medium, I guess. So if you are considering this book, do check out Amazon so you can kind of see what you're getting into, because they do provide previews, which is amazing. And I also like that it's a combination of like younger looking elves, so like, I don't want to say children elves because that sounds weird, but young adults. There's also the quote unquote like stereotypical elf wearing a pointy hat and white beard kind of elves. There's also little creatures like things in their houses, and again, just a nice range. And I love books that have a range of images and such, because it just makes it more interesting, because I feel like there's only so many times you can color something that's basically the same image. Also, when I was originally basing this, I didn't know if this like if this pointy part here was a sock or the foot. But then if this was the foot, then like the fox was just randomly wearing like garters, like knit garters. So I decided to make it a sock, because I don't know why the fox would be wearing knit garters. I mean, if the fox is, that's fine. But I contemplated on that one for a little bit, but I decided to make it a sock, because also going with the cozy, comfy vibe, I feel like socks just make a lot of sense, much more than a knit garter, right? Gosh, I'm really struggling with staying in the lines today. Maybe I've had too much coffee. And yes, I will add more shading to the blue. It's just I'm going through and working on this pencil right now. And then I'm going to move on to the last book. And oh gosh, it's another Coco Wyo. I guess it's a very Coco Wyo heavy video. I apologize if you're not a fan of that. It was not intentional. But it is called Dresses. And surprisingly, I feel like fashion coloring books are quite rare. I don't know why, because I mean, coloring clothing is fun. But that being said, I don't actually own any coloring books where you color clothes, so I guess I'm kind of being just a wee bit of a hypocrite. But it's also by Coco Wyo. It's the standard $6.99. It was released January 14th, and as I'm making this video, there are 3 ratings on Amazon, and all of them are 5 stars. So that's a good sign, if you ask moi, in my humble opinion. So And also I'm pulling in, oh, this is a Prisma, just a purple Prisma from their 12 pack. I want to add a little bit more shading and dimension. But anyways, there are, let's see, 40 illustrations of amazing dresses. This book also does have the combination of some black and some white backgrounds. I'm sorry if you heard that noise. It's the dog having weird dreams. And it seems like there's outfits from like every occasion. There's some more casual ones. There's some very fancy ones. So very cool. And I feel like those would have been like my dream to color when I was a little gal. I loved coloring dresses and fashion, and I used to draw my own like fashion designs. And I remember I would hang them up. I would like tape them on the walls of the apartment we were living in. So 10-year-old me would have loved this book, but you can enjoy this book obviously at any age. And per usual, single-sided images. You can trust this company. They're not ripping anybody off as far as any of us know, I guess. But really interesting book. It also looks like there are outfits inspired by various cultures, which is fabulous to see. So if you've been in the market for a cool fashion coloring book, or you want to maybe practice your skin tones and your hair coloring, and maybe coloring like fabrics, like the pleats of fabric and stuff, this would be a fabulous option. And for $6.99, I feel like 'tis a good deal. To also experiment with some black backgrounds and some some white backgrounds. So you can definitely make it a cool practice book. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, right? You don't have to get it. But if you do like it, I think it's a cool option. But that is it for the video. That is the 10 books that I wanted to talk about with you today. I might make one of these videos again very soon, because I do have like a list of other books that recently came out, and I mean things are still being released, and I never want to make these videos too long, so I might make another one in a week or so. So if you enjoy staying up to date on new releases, or just generally hearing me jibber jabber about random things, then feel free to subscribe. I try to post twice a week, assuming work doesn't get any more crazy than it already is. But thank you so much for watching. Everything is linked down below if you're interested in checking out any of the books. They're all available on Amazon. So thank you, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Bye.